Le cheval plaît beaucoup, hein. C'est un vecteur de communication extraordinaire.
Avant d'être un cavalier, c'était important d'être un horseman.
Always put the horse before the personal ambitions.
Vraiment un cheval incroyable.
Voilà quelqu'un qui est champion olympique et qui n'est pas ordinaire.
Se remettre en question et peut se servir des défaites pour être meilleur après.
Ce feeling, je l'ai eu directement avec Caleb.
On fait du haut niveau, il y a le côté financier, c'est comme ça.
Aller en compétition parce qu'il est bon, pas parce qu'il paye une table.
Moi, je veux pas courir mes chevaux pour l'argent.
If you can do it in a way that doesn't take too much out of your horses.
Quand on voit l'évolution en 10 ans de temps, qu'est-ce que ça va être dans 10 ans?
Pouvoir motiver les jeunes à aller au bout de leurs rêves.
Forme de très très bons compétiteurs. Je ne vais pas dire que ça forme des hommes de chevaux.
Pour moi, les bons moments, ils sont à venir.
Aujourd'hui, réussir sa vie, c'est avoir la vie que l'on souhaite.
The apple never falls far from the tree. We have heard that so many times, and in equestrian sport, it often proves to be true. But more often than not, behind top riders, there's a story that starts very early. A family involved in the sport, weekend at the stables or at the show, ponies before school, and a life already deeply connected to horses. Our guest today, Gilles Thomas, is part of that generation. Born into the sport, raised in it, surrounded by horses from the very beginning. But as we all know, being born in the right context is never enough to reach the highest level. It might give you access, it might give you opportunities, but it never guarantees results. Because at some point, the path becomes yours. You have to make your own decisions, build your own system and prove yourself, not as someone's son or someone's nephew, but as a rider in your own right. And that's exactly what Gilles Thomas has been doing over the past few years. Step by step, he has built his place on the international scene, from young rider classes to the biggest arenas, developing his own string of horses, gaining experience and finding consistency at the highest level. And of course, many of us, discovered him through his incredible partnership with Hermitage Calonne, a horse, a partner that makes everything look so smooth, so natural, almost effortless. I still remember the first time I saw them in the ring, that feeling that everything was under control, that nothing was forced. But we all know that behind that kind of harmony lies years of work and dedication. So today, in this episode, we want to go beyond what we see in the ring. Not just the easy rounds, not just the results, but the full picture. Let's dive into the story of Gilles Thomas. Hello, Gilles. Thank you for being here. So we are in Geneva, Sunday morning, last day. You're not riding the Grand Prix, but we will talk about that. Gilles, before we start this conversation, we will be introducing you, introducing this episode and talking about you a little bit. What we can say already is that you are one of the biggest breakthrough riders of the last couple of years. You are 27 this year, and 2025 was a spectacular year for you. You were crowned this year LGCT champions, the youngest ever. You were also part of the team who got the bronze medal at the European Championships in La Coruña. You won the Grand Prix in Paris. You won the Grand Prix, the Forza Grand Prix in Maastricht also. And you are currently 5th in the ranking list, in the world ranking list. You were riding on Friday the top 10 final. You have had amazing performances over the last couple of years. You were in Paris last year, and maybe the first milestone of your career was 2023 when you were Belgium champion. Is that correct? I would like to know a bit more about your story. We want to know from in which type of family you were born, how you started riding, when you started to think that it would be your career, and maybe I'll just ask you to talk about the very beginning of your equestrian career journey. Do you remember when you started to ride, and do you remember the moment you thought about becoming a professional rider?
Hello. I was born a little bit into a horse family. My mom was riding in the youth categories, but then when I got born, she stopped riding. But my uncle had a big stable, Mark van Dijk, was also riding at the highest level before. He did some championships. I think for my birthday, when I got 3 years old, I got my first pony as a birthday present from my uncle. And from then on, I started to play a bit with the pony. And I think like 2-3 years after, I got another pony, where I could ride and jump a bit with. During that time, I was always all my free time went to the horses. When I had holiday, I always went with my uncle to the shows when I was a small kid. And I was always dreaming of doing also the big sport and become a professional rider. So it's always been a big dream to be once at the top of the sport.
Have you been riding the junior classes, the pony classes? How have you evolved over time to become one of the best that you are now? Did you ever leave the stables to go ride with another rider?
I've ridden also some ponies, but actually not so much. I didn't have done the Europeans for ponies. I jumped like ponies till 110, 120. I had a good pony, but was not good enough to do the big pony classes. So then we try to buy a good pony to do the championships, or maybe go already to the horses. And in the beginning we were a bit looking for a pony, but it was hard to find. But on the other end there were so many horses in our stable from my uncle. So he said maybe it's easier that you start straight away with ponies, with horses. So I think already on the age of 12 I went to the horses, and that's also why I did 2 European championships already with the children. So I went quite early to the horses, and then I always have had many different horses, young horses. Like I also rode 4 years old classes with the horses, like the Belgian championship for young horses. So I did a bit everything when I was very young. I think my uncle also wanted that I did everything, so it was a good experience that I was riding all different kind of horses, experienced horses, inexperienced horses. So in that way I was already learning a lot. But I stayed actually always at my uncle's place, because I've always had good horses, so it was not really a thing to go somewhere else. And he's a very good teacher. But that time I was a bit too young to ride the bigger classes, and my uncle was a bit stopping with the sport, but we still had a few good horses. So that time Niels Bruinseels was riding a bit for my uncle, so he was also riding some horses for us. So sometimes I also went to him to train a bit with him. And still now my uncle can't be at every show with me, because we have the big stable at home, and he's also giving lessons to other people. So when Niels is there, he still helps me a bit. So I think I'm also thankful for him.
So Gilles, you come from the equestrian industry. Was it a choice for you of being a professional rider, an equestrian? Did you have the choice?
Yes, I think when I was very young I did many different kind of sports. I think my mom had to travel every day to another sport with me. I did for a few years tennis, hockey, I was swimming, athletics, horse riding for sure, judo. I did everything quite good. I also loved to do everything, but then I stopped with every kind of sport when they started to ask, you're quite good, but now you have to come like 3-4 times in the week to train because it's getting a bit serious. But then I said, sorry, I don't have time, I have still my horses. So I always came back to the horses. And also my family really pushed me to do studying. So I studied actually till my 21st year. so quite along. So because they said, yeah, you never know what's happened. If you have an accident or one day you don't like it anymore, then you still have it. So I think they were kind of free with me. I could do whatever I wanted, but I knew it already when I was very young that I really want to become a rider.
When we have recorded an episode with Martin Fuchs in Lyon, he told us that he evolved in an industry and with his family who told him that he will be a professional rider, he will be an Olympic athlete. Was your family also telling you will be an Olympic rider?
No, not really. They never pushed me or they never said it was always me that really want to go forward. I was always asking my family and especially my uncle, can I not go next week to a bigger show? I want to jump bigger. And they were always, no, slow, you have time, you are still young. So it was actually always me that was the most motivated. And I think that's a bit typical me. Also in the ring I'm very competitive. So it's not I had never really the pressure from my family, no.
I know that you also have a breeding department in your stables, a big breeding activity. Are you passionate about breeding, as is your uncle? Do you take part into the breeding activities also?
Yes, I like it quite a lot. I think we have always done some embryos, even also with my mares that I'm competing in the shows, like with Luna, Calista. We also are trying. When they always have in the year like a few weeks or months, like a break, that they don't have many shows, and then that time we try to have like some embryos. Because if you have mares like that, I think it's worth to do also breeding with them. And then on the other end we have also breeding mares, because it's not so easy to find good horses. And like I said, when you have good mares, then it's worth to try to have the next generation. And then actually my uncle is always asking to me, what stallion are we putting on the mare? Because I'm a lot at shows. I see a bit how the sport is going. I see also a lot of horses, so I'm always interested if there's a new good horse, what's the breeding from that, so I maybe can use the same breeding or the same stallion also in our breeding.
Yesterday we met with Marc Dilasser, the French rider, and we asked him the question, do you think, Marc, that today we can still start from nowhere, start from, without an equestrian family, without much money, and be a successful riders? And he told us something that made me think of your story. He told us that there are many good riders able to ride big classes, but there are not so many riders able to develop a horse from the youngest age until the main classes and the top level. Do you think that it's one of your best strengths to be able to ride a horse from the very young age, to develop, to educate him, and to make him become a top level horse?
Yeah, I think the easiest way, and I think the fact that every rider wants just to have a horse that's ready and go to the shows straight away, to the 5-star shows. But it's not like that. It's hard that an owner comes to you and says, I have a 5-star Grand Prix horse, you don't want to ride it next week? That's almost doesn't exist. You really have to make a bit your horses and start from young with them. I always had young horses and I always built them up, because to buy them or even just to find them, it's very easy, very difficult. So I think the young generation, they have to start also with the first step with the young horses. Some of the young generations, they straight away think, that rider is 20 or 25 and he's riding the 5-star, so I also want to ride the 5-stars. But you have to follow an whole progress. It's not easy, but I think if you are not really in a horse family, but if you are talented and especially motivated, then you can come really far, because there are so many horses in the world and there's also so many breeders that are looking for a rider. So I think if you are motivated and if you want to do well, then maybe it will take a bit longer, but in some way you always get there.
Do you enjoy riding young horses and competing in the young horses classes?
Yes, actually, sometimes I even enjoy that more than the 5-star shows. 5-star shows is always some pressure and the whole world is watching to you. A small mistake and everyone saw it. But with the young horses, it's fun. It's a bit more relaxed, especially when you have the feeling that you are sitting on a good one. You're really excited about it and you want to build him up. So it's I also really like it. It's a good mix. Now I'm here in Geneva. I think next week I will go to a national show with some young horses, and then the week after I go again to a 5-star to Mechelen. So it's a good mix to do both a bit.
I really want to know who you are, Gilles. Can you tell us both when you are in the ring and when you are in the barn at home, what is your character? You seem to be very discreet.
Yes, I think I'm not really a person that talks a lot. I love riding horses, so when I'm on a horse, I don't really need something else. I'm focused and I'm just one with my horse. Also at home, I think actually at home is even more important to be really focused than on also in the ring, but at home you have to create your horse, and then in the ring it's actually just a result of all the hard work. In the ring I'm quite competitive, then I changed maybe a little bit, but I think from the outside I still seem to be the same. I'm, I think, a quiet person, inside I always want to give everything.
Can you tell us about your current system? What are the foundations of your system? How do you find horses? Do you only ride horses that you breed, or do you buy horses? Do you have owners? Do you have investors? Can you tell us a little bit how it works around you?
Our stable, we have 30 boxes at home, so we always have around 25-30 horses under the saddle. We also have a lot of young horses, but that are really in work. It's always around 25. We are with a few people working hard at home. I have a rider who rides a bit the young horses till they are 8, 9, and then I ride also most of the time the older horses, but also sometimes when I have time the younger ones. And the horses that I ride is a bit a mix. It's from own breeding, but also horses that we bought when they were young, or from owners that are coming to us. I think we are very lucky in Belgium that we have a lot of breeders with good horses. And nowadays I have the feeling that they want to keep the horses also a bit longer in Belgium. We have good Belgian riders, and the sport, the prize money is rising, so it's worth to keep them a bit longer. And then you can always sell them when a bit older. But my horses that I ride are like a bit a mix. It's not like one thing. It's a bit everything. Most of my horses that came to me actually are my uncle is giving a lot of lessons. So there are a lot of people that coming by us to train with the horses. So we also see a lot of horses. We know a lot of people, and then if you see a horse in your barn that training with my uncle is jumping good, then I say to my uncle, when is that one coming again? I think maybe next week comes again, and then I see that I'm also there, and then like also with Calista, they came to train with her at my place, and I really liked the horse. And then we made it's possible that I could jump a bit with her, and then now we both half, and she's doing very well.
So when someone's riding in your barn, you always have an eye on what's going to check if the horse could be one for you.
Especially that's actually the good thing about my uncle is very passionate about giving lessons, so it's then like Luna, Calista, Chiara, many of the horses that I had were because of they came by us to train, and then the owners they asked can Gilles not make a few jumps with it, and then it's all started a bit like that.
Belgium is a nation that excels in the equestrian sport. For decades, we can count on the Belgians to bring home a medal from major championships and competition. I would like to know, how does it feel to distinguish yourself at such a young age in such a prestigious event alongside such renowned and successful riders? How were you welcomed in the Belgium team?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere in general in the Belgium team with all the Belgian riders is very good. Even if we are not at the Nations Cup show, for example, here in Geneva, we all walk a bit together, the course walk, so it's very nice. And how I came into the team, I think I always had good results in the youth categories, and then our chef de Kip always wants to give opportunities to a lot of riders in Belgium, because he also finds that it's important to give a lot of riders experience, because you never know what happens to the good combinations. When you have the opportunity to be part of the Belgian team, you really need to be ready, because it's a strong nation. So it's not that you have every week the chance to be part of it. But luckily from in the beginning I had always good results, also with the red jacket from the Belgian team. And then also now, especially the last 2 years, with a horse like Hermitage Calonne, is a real championship horse. So that's why I could do already a few championships with him and Nations Cups. So it's very nice to be part of a nation like Belgium, because if you go to a Nations Cup or a championship, you know that you can also do something there, so that motivates you.
Do you have any role models in the Belgium team? Have any of them helped you in your journey in the Belgium team?
Yeah, I think there are many experienced riders. So like Gregory Wattler, he's very experienced. I often go to him with questions. Also, like in the last European Championships in La Coruña, he wasn't there, but I called him almost every day to speak a bit about my round and the feelings. The same with Niels Bruinseels. I think you can learn from everyone, and especially from riders with experience that did already a lot of championships. I also like the way they are riding, so they help me already a lot. Yeah.
How did you feel riding the Olympics last year? Because you were only 26. It was the first couple of years that you were performing at the highest level. Compared to many other riders present in Paris, you had less experience, obviously. So how was it for you to take part in the Olympic Games at such a very young age in a very strong team that had won medals for the last championships and main competitions?
Yeah, the Olympics were my first big championship. So if you have to start straight away in the Olympics, it's not that easy. But with a horse like Hermitage, we had not much experience, but was really the goal to qualify ourselves for the Olympics. He's such an exceptional horse, but both me and Hermitage were kind of inexperienced, so was not so easy. But we made it to the qualification, we made it to the selection, and then once at the Olympics, I must say, as a lot of people, when I got the selection for the Olympics, they said, "Oh, Olympics is something very special," and I couldn't really realize it. I thought, okay, actually it's the same horses and same riders that you're riding every week with. So what's actually the difference? But I can say there, if you come there in the Olympic Village and see all the athletes in with the same clothes as you, they start to talk about you. If you go to your showground, they say, "Hey, good luck, bring a medal home for Belgium." It's a very special atmosphere, and also I think the whole world is watching the Olympics. Also me, when I was young, I was watching sports that I normally never watch. And I think it's the same with our sport. There are a lot of people watching the Olympics that normally are not watching the equestrian. So also after it, I got a lot of compliments, and it changed a bit my life.
We met with Meredith Michael Bierbaum on Thursday when arriving here at the show, and when we were talking with her, we realized that at the end of the day, what makes her so different is that the horses that she has had lasted for years at the top level, like Shutterfly, like Checkmate. They had super long career, and it's one of the key today to last and to be able to stay on top is to have horses who stay fit to perform and to ride week after week the top level, the top Grand Prix. And yesterday when I saw the list for the Grand Prix for today, I saw that you withdrew. You would not be riding Calista. You had her on Friday, and I know that when you qualify for a Grand Prix and you decide not to ride it, when it's like the Rolex Grand Prix here in Geneva, it's not something that it's uncommon. It must be a very hard choice. How do you do to balance between the request of the ranking list, of the points, of the qualifications and stuff, and the protection of the welfare of your horses and of their career?
Yeah, you always have to think first about your horses, especially when you have like very good horses. It's the biggest thing is to keep them sound and to give them a long career. Also, like now was a bit a hard decision to not ride the Grand Prix, but Calista is only 9 years old. She did already a lot this year for her age, and Friday she was jumping very good in the top 10 final. So then I decided together with the owners to not ride today in the Grand Prix, just to save her a bit. However, I had actually the feeling that she's in a good shape, but you have to make decisions. You cannot. It's not like a machine, a horse. It's not that you can jump them every day. So I hope I still can come for a few more years to Geneva with her, and then maybe next year we try again. But also my main thing for all my horses is to give them a long career, because they're big animals, but also kind of weak animals. Small injury is quick there. So and then especially if you have like exceptional horses, you're really you really want to protect them.
Today, Gilles, you have one of the best horses in the world in your barn, Hermitage Calonne. Everyone dreams of having a foal from Hermitage. Me either, first. Can you tell us about him? What is his story?
Hermitage, he's an unbelievable horse. The cousin of my uncle, he bought him when he was a yearling in France. He bought him actually because of his type and also because of his pedigree. We didn't see him jumping yet because he was only a yearling, so he didn't know that he would turn out the horse that he is today. So maybe he was a bit lucky. But from young, when he was very young, he was always a very good horse in the young stallion competitions, in the stallion approvals. He showed already a lot of qualities. And then when he was the end of the year, when he was 6 almost turning 7, he came to my stable. And I watched him already before with the previous rider, and he was always jumping clear runs, but was not really flashy, but it was always on a good way. Also, when I jumped him the first time, I had a bit the same feeling that I thought. He was jumping very easy, but for sure I had the feeling that he was a very good horse, but I was not really thinking then already that he would become the horse that he is today. But if you see the results, it was really hard that he had one down in the youth categories. He jumps so many clear runs. Also at home when you jump in, or in the warm up when you jump in, he's so clever horse. Because sometimes I remember, sometimes I ride also a lot of young horses, and then sometimes when you go to a jump and they are a bit out of balance, or if they are a bit spooky, then you feel the fault coming. And you also had the feeling sometimes with Hermitage when he was young, he's a bit out of balance, he's a bit drifting to the right. I said, oh no, you have no chance, but then he always managed to jump over the fence. That I said, how is it possible? He had actually no chance to jump it, but still, and it looked like very easy. And also with every step I did with him, from 140 to 150 to 160, every new step was also like, no problem. If you want me to jump 170, I also can do it. So that also gave me a lot of confidence as a rider when you have a horse like that. And then now he's turning 11, and I think the last half a year, 1 year and a half, we achieved many nice things together. So it's also nice for me as a rider, because when he was young there was always a lot of asked for him to sell him. So it was difficult if we would keep him or sell him, because if you keep him, then you want to do. Me as a rider, I want to give it back to the owner that he have nice results. So now the last year and a half, I did like the Olympics and the Europeans, and did already. I won a 5-star Grand Prix in Paris, a lot of podiums. Also last year here in Geneva we were third. So now it's like the circle is round. So it's very nice that we kept him, and I think it was the right decision.
Do you already have some foals from Hermitage or from Calista?
No, actually not. We tried this year. She had the embryo, but it didn't take on the mare. So, but I have from other mares, like from Luna, I have an Hermitage. It's turning 3. We have a few young ones. They are still quite young. But I must say, it looks actually very good. We are breeding already many years horses, but if you see now the 3 years olds, all the Hermitages, they are very good. So it's very nice. I think like in a couple of years, I will ride a lot of offsprings of him, because they look to be very good as well.
Yesterday we attended the IJRC General Assembly with the board and representatives of the riders and the FEI. And Michel Sorg, who is the Swiss Federation CEO, urged riders not to remain silent, to speak out, to join forces with their federation and with the IJRC to defend sports. And it was also referring to the 258 rule, the blood rule, what they call the blood rule. And I wanted to ask you, do you feel that you as an athlete have a role to play also in the political part of the sport? Do you believe that, like a Steve Gerda, like sometimes and very often Grégory Wathelet, you also have to defend your sport and to talk and to advocate for the thing that you believe is fair?
I think it's also a bit part of it. If you are at the top of the sport, you are like a role model. Everyone is watching to you, so you have to give a good example. And also, I think there's a good collaboration between all the federations and the riders. So, if there is something you have to also to tell it to try to improve our sport, the show jumping. So I think it's a good thing that like the group of riders that they can speak with the federation. And if you have like experienced riders like Rodrigo Pessoa and Steve Gerda and Kevin Starts, it's very good. But I think also like the next generation with Richard Vogel, and maybe also I'm a bit part of the next generation. I think we are also need to talk and to hear our voice to them, because I think we all want to make our sport better.
But you are 27. Do you feel legitimate to talk when Steve is in the room and Kevin and Rodrigo? Do you, like, despite your age, feel legitimate to be advocating and to be talking with the federation, for example?
That's true. I'm still young, but okay. I think I'm now already riding a lot of years together with Steve and with all the good riders, and it's not like I think in our sport we are all kind of friends. We can all talk easily with each other. So for me, it's not a really big thing to also talk to them or talk to the federation. But I think for sure at the moment the riders with more experience are maybe better in talking to the federation than us. But I think it's also a thing of me where we have to work on it. We also have to gain experience in that, because the sport that I'm doing, it's not only riding, it's a lot of things that are also around that are very important. It's from finding horses, from talking to the owners, talking to the sponsors, talking to the federation is also part of it.
This year you performed very well on the global circuit, winning several Grand Prix events and being crowned the circuit best rider of the year. Can you tell us about this unique circuit, which is sometimes heavily criticized by the public? In your opinion, how does it serve for riders or young riders?
The Global Champions Tour for me was it's been very, very good. I think every team needs to have a U25 rider in their team. Now, last year there were 17 teams, so that means that there were 17 youth riders. So I came into the 5-star sports a bit to the Global Champions Tour. Before that I did, I think, only like Mechelen because it was in Belgium, and then the Belgian riders get a bit more opportunities. But after that I got the opportunity to be part of the Global Champions Tour. So I think if you are very good youth rider and you have good horses, they will also pick you up in the Global Champions Tour. And there are, like now this year there were 16 shows, I think, so you can, it's not that you have to ride all 16 shows, but you can ride a lot of shows and gain a lot of experience. I think it's getting every year bigger and bigger, the Global Champions Tour. So it's very nice that I could have won the title of the best rider of the season.
You are 27, as we just said. You have already been part of your team in the Olympics. You have received a medal. You have been winning a lot of 5-star Grand Prix. You already are in the top 10, in the best 10 riders of the world. What are the next goals? Can you dream of something higher, something bigger than what you already have?
When I was a small kid, you never can talk about your dreams till they are real. But always my dream was to win a championship medal, and so I won it in the Europeans in La Coruña. So that's actually a bit my dream that came true. But still a lot of things, I think, like the World Championships next year in Aachen. So far I never rode in Aachen, so that's a big thing for me. And then now especially that next year are the World Championships there. Also that knowing that we had the good results at the Europeans last year. So I think that's a big goal, to be also riding once the World Championships. So I could then I can tell that I rode the Europeans, Olympics, and also World Championships. So that's a next big thing for me.
At the end of this incredible year, how do you feel?
Yeah, I got that question already a lot. I think it's been a very good year. It's sometimes hard to realize because you go from show to show. You win on Sunday, for example, the Grand Prix, and 1 hour after you're already thinking about next week, what horse you're gonna ride, which classes you're gonna ride. So I think now with the holidays, with Christmas and New Year it's coming, I think I will think a bit more about my season. And it's been an incredible year. I'm also very pleased that I could now ride at the end of the year the top 10 final. I must say it was a very nice class to ride. Was if you like, I had a very nice feeling also in the warm-up. You're only with 10 riders there in the warm-up, but if you see around, it's like with Ken Farrington, Scott Bresch, Steve Gerda, are idols for me. So it was a very special feeling. So I think I achieved a lot this year. So it will be hard to beat this year.
Do you know the basketball player Tony Parker?
Yeah.
Tony said, I don't know where, but if when you tell about your dreams to people, they don't make fun of you, it's because they are not crazy enough. We're getting closer to the end of the interview, but we have like quick questions for you. What the best moment of your career, a moment that you will never forget, if you had to pick only one?
I think on results-wise was I think the Europeans winning their 2 medals with the team, the gold medal and the bronze individual. I think the team gold medal was a very special feeling. Then the whole country was happy, the whole team was happy. But actually I must say for the experience riding the top 10, before I was not really thinking that it would be so special, but actually I must say after, now that I rode the top 10 final, was also a thing that was very, very special to me. And then also of course the Olympics. So I think that 3 things that are really standing out.
Which horse of the current circuit would you like to ride?
There are many good horses at the moment. I'm very lucky that I have already Hermitage Calonne, otherwise I would pick him because I don't really want to change him to another horse, with another horse. But if I have to pick one, if you see now this year, then I would maybe pick Grea from Ken Farrington.
What's the best advice you was ever given in your life?
I think that I have to take it step by step. Always think about building up your horses. The longer you build your horses up, the longer they can stay there. You can fast go high with a horse, but then you also can break them fast. So I think the best advice is the longer you take time with them, also the longer they will stay there. So you need to be patient as a rider.
And the last one, what's your favorite gymnastic exercise at home or jumping exercise at home? For people to be able to take something from you.
I like to jump a lot on a circle, just like 2 jumps on a circle, that they are landing on the right side, that the rhythm is good, that they are turning good. So just on the circle, it's a bit also easier to collect your horses on a circle. You can make your circle a bit bigger, a bit smaller. So that's maybe the thing that I do the most. And then actually also what's important, what I also like to do is just 3 verticals after each other from in a certain distance, for example 20 meters, and then you do once 5 and 5 or 5 and 4 or 4 and 4, and you play a bit with that. So that are 2 things that I do quite a lot.
Thank you very much, Gilles, for your time and for replying to all these questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.